Hello, my name is Chase Murphy. I'm a senior consultant with ProVal Technologies, and today I wanted to go over some patching information in ConnectWise RMM. I recently met up with a partner at the IT Nation Connect event, and they had some questions about it, and I said I would make a video for them, so here I am making a video for them for our YouTube channel. But I digress. So getting right into it, first off, patch compliance is a little bit of a interesting concept in CWRMM, and it's great to understand the calculations behind all of it, which I have pulled up right here for us. This is their main logic for scoring, and then this is how they score everything at the end of the day. So you could have 10 installed patches, 1 pending reboot, missing 5, but only 9 of them are approved. 1 is pending reboot is approved. 1 is missing that is approved. So you can see down here, it's the total number of installed patches. So 9 that are approved and installed. And then it is the number of installed plus the pending reboot plus the missing. So there's 1 approved pending reboot and 1 approved missing. So that'll be 9, 10, 11, 12. 9 divided by 12 times 100, 75%. So that's how they're calculating that. And I want to show a few examples of devices in our system to help make it more clear. Here's just one random of our dev servers. We have this machine at 75% compliance. It shows 0 missing. There is a pending and an installed. But when we actually get into the data, we can see everything down here. We can see there's some other installed patches, but that's not exactly how this calculation is going to end up working out. We need to look at only the approved patches. So either partner approved or NOC approved, because that's how our patch policies are set up here at ProVal. So we can see 1 approved patch, 2 approved patch, 3 approved patches, 4 approved total patches on this device, of which 3 are installed and 1 is pending reboot. So I wrote down the calculation real quick so we could all see it. So we have 3, 3, and 1 with 0 missing. So that times 100, 75%. That's where this number is coming from. You can have a very similar case where 1 is not pending reboot, but 1 is missing instead. And you'll still end up at the same policy compliance because it's still 1, 2, 3, 4 total patches, 3 approved installed, 1 missing. So instead of it being 1 pending reboot, it's 1 missing, but you still end up at the same compliancy number. Here's another example of a device that was at 75%. You can see in this case, they are missing 2 patches, but neither of those patches are approved. So they're not showing in the totals for this device. It's still 1, 2, 3 installed patches plus 1 pending reboot, so 4 total. And then the 3 out of the 4, 75%. I had one other example device that I thought would help clarify some of this, as it's a slightly different calculation, as we have this device at 80% compliance. For this device, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 approved patches. There are more that are missing, but they're not approved, so we're not going to deploy them. So really, we're looking at 4 out of 5 patches that are installed on this device, which brings us to the 80% compliance. So hopefully that helps illustrate this a little bit more clear on how these calculations work and how they're coming through. If these patches down here that are missing are important, but they are not approved, they will not deploy. So you might need to go and get those approved. Depending on your patching setup, of course, you can have it set to deploy all patches if that is your preference, in which case then the approvals and denials aren't really going to matter. It's going to be more about what patches exist and if they're installed or not. The other question I wanted to help answer was there's the idea of policy patches versus non-policy patches. So we can see here there's a lot of drivers missing on this device. However, these drivers are not approved to roll out in our system. We do not deploy drivers every day. We just kind of do them on demand in our system as required. So these non-policy patches, they are missing patches and they would show up in Windows if you looked on the machine locally. However, these patches are not approved in the system at all to deploy. So they show under non-policy and they are kept out of the calculations here. So that's why the numbers can seem a little confusing at first if you were unsure of them. It's mostly around what's approved and blocked in the system. And then they're calculating all of that for you at the end of all of it. As one other note, I wanted to mention under the new Asio reports, so that is reports, Asio patches, there's the new patch deployment report, which is quite useful. So you can come in here and look and see how patching is going on whatever company or sites that you need. You can find individual devices and see what's been going on with that device over time. So we can see on this one device that I selected here, it's been failing to install patches with the same H result. So we need to go and look into that so we can fix it. But this is a great way to review what is failing in the system so that you can go and correct those problems if you deem necessary. But that is a pretty easy way to understand how their patching works, how their compliance shows up, and how the calculations are made. Hopefully that'll help bring some more clarity to the screens and how you're using them in ConnectWise RMM. Thanks for coming to watch our video. We try to post new videos on ConnectWise and or other MSP related tools every week. We'll try to keep more of them coming. Thank you for being here. Subscribe if you find this useful. Thank you.